Hey everyone, it's Friday. That means it's time to deploy. Joining me as always is Jim. Jim, how was your week?
Yeah, good week, good week. Looking forward to the weekend, of course. How was yours?
Good. It's very hot here in Brisbane, hot and humid,
Yeah.
and our AC just conked out, so we got to get a new one, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes. I've called around, just anecdotally, I've called around to so many different AC providers and vendors. Everyone is completely booked. It's been such a hot and humid summer here in Australia, that I think everyone's just swimming in money. If you're an AC vendor, an air conditioning vendor or retailer, you are absolutely killing it right now. But hey, that's the way it is. I hear also my friends and family back in Canada are absolutely freezing their butts off because it's so cold there. So we've got the McBLT of the world going on right now. The hot stays hot and the cool stays cool. So there you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sorry, that's an old reference to an '80s commercial featuring George Wendt, the Costanza featuring a McDonald's commercial. That's the McBLT. Sorry, but that's an
Right.
old reference there. So the graybeards in watching this will understand what I'm saying. Anyways, this is a show that Jim and I do on a weekly basis. We talk about the latest news and tech trends relative to Octopus Deploy. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. This was a blog post written recently by Andy entitled "Set Up a Local Kubernetes Deployment Pipeline." So Kubernetes is a very popular target for us, for folks who are using Octopus. They typically target, IS, virtual machines, Kubernetes, etc. And so Andy talks a little bit about how you can target Kubernetes and the sort of setup that you need for this. And so in this, he talks about GitHub Actions. So that's tends to be the more canonical example. Pushing an application's image to Docker Hub, and yet another sort of canonical example of where you push containers, and then deploys your app to a local Kubernetes instance using Octopus Server. So talks a little bit about his setup using Canonical's micro Kubernetes for a local instance. There's a ton of options out there, Minikube, etc. You can set this up on a variety of providers as well. All the big three, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft have their solutions as well. So once this is set up and running, you can then set up the networking, which is on its own very problematic. Setting up networking in Kubernetes is fun. And then you can use kubectl or kubectl, depending on how you call it, the CLI for executing commands. This is going to be a requirement, especially when you want to do management and administrative commands against Kubernetes. You can use other tools as well, but kubectl or kubectl is the one that most folks use. And then as part of the application, SQL Server Express, this is what's necessary for Octopus. So folks don't often know this, but we actually run on top of SQL Server and provide that there. And then you set up Octopus, and we'll assume people have seen Octopus. And then you connect Octopus to your local Kubernetes instance. So you can run kubectl via the micro Kubernetes command. And this is where you establish a token. This is what establishes a trust chain between Kubernetes running it in your Windows terminal and allows you to establish that connection between Octopus and Kubernetes. And then you add the token to Octopus. And so these are the steps in which you do that. And then from there, you add the deployment target. So a deployment target is just basically where you're going to deploy to. And there's a variety of target types that we support, including Kubernetes clusters. And then from there, simply wire up your GitHub repository, start publishing images to the Docker repository, and then away you go. And so these and other simple steps, that's a lot of steps, will help you basically construct a end-to-end solution featuring CI, CD, Kubernetes, GitHub Actions, dogs and cats living together. So thank you, Andy, for writing this very practical yet detailed example.
And of course, step 13, profit, right? Right?
That's right. That's right. Step 13. Oh, step 12, then step 13 is profit.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
A miracle occurs, and then something else. So yeah. So yeah, thanks, Andy, for that blog post. Great stuff. And if you're all curious about what we have support for in terms of Kubernetes, we've got tons of blog posts up on our YouTube channel. You can take a look at that there. We have a bunch of events that we're going to be publishing more events that we're going to be going to. But the big ones that we're going to are going to be DevOps Live in London, DDD Melbourne in Melbourne, and KubeCon in Paris, France. And we are actively working very hard on getting things set up. We've got graphics, booths, images. We just secured our booth today for KubeCon. So excited about that. We're really looking forward to connecting with customers, both in Europe and in Australia. We're going to be visiting customers in the US. We're going to be visiting customers in the UK. So stay tuned for more events being published here. You'll hear about these as we progress. We are also sponsoring Platform Con. So Platform Con 24 is an online event. This is their second year running, I believe. And we are a sponsor, and they have a call for speakers at the moment. So feel free to submit a session. This is an online conference. We're big fans of this, and we are also a sponsor of this. They have a variety of conference tracks, excuse me if I can speak. And we are huge fans of this. We think that platform engineering is a really good way to approach CI/CD and development practices in general, etc. And in addition to that, we are also sponsoring Platform Engineering Day, which is part of KubeCon. So this will be, if you're in Paris, France, and you like Kubernetes, you're going to have a happy experience in March because everything there is going to be around Kubernetes. So KubeCon kicks off in March. We will be part of Platform Engineering Day. As part of that, we'll be talking about IDPs, platform engineering, developer experience, and the whole other things. So we're a platinum sponsor for this event, and we hope to see you there. We're really looking forward to this in Paris, which will be awesome. Joanna's published another blog post or article rather to the News Stack, and this one's entitled "The Joys and Pains of DevOps." There are internal and external changes. Internally, company needs, products, and personnel are evolving. Externally, the tech landscape is constantly shifting. So in this, Joanna talks to a bunch of folks talking about their opinions around the sort of promises, the realities of DevOps, etc. So she talks to our CEO and founder, Paul Stovall. So there's lots of richness in here. It's a wide swath of opinions here. And basically, it's, without the journey starts with a single step, no pain, no gain, this sort of type of article. So Joanna talks a little bit about what people's opinions are relative to that. Some highlights here. Stephen, who's a big fan of Octopus, he's a principal DevOps engineer at biotech research company Charles River Laboratories, talks a little bit about enabling quick and reliable deployments for years to come is priceless. I would totally agree. Getting deployments right is super, super critical because it makes you go faster. Nothing is worse than having a souped up engine in your car and having the parking brake on it because you can't go fast enough when developing. And I think that having a bad deployment process is kind of like that. You're right. You may have the best CI pipeline in the world, but if you don't have really a good deployment process, you're driving with the parking brake on, in my opinion. So there you go. So lots of opinions there. And if you're all curious about checking this out, you can check it out on the News Stack, which is a very popular sort of read for me. There's lots of really great articles and content published there. And they've got a great series of podcasts and videos, etc. So lots of good stuff there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with News Stack. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. They're actually got a number of podcasts there. So some of the podcasts that I've heard, I think they do Go Time, if I remember correctly. I can't remember what other ones they do. They do some other ones as well. They do what else is there? They got ones on containers, networking, some ones on AI, front end development, JavaScript. Awesome. Can never stop talking about that stuff. And then the podcasts themselves. So they do a bunch of different talks there as part of this, which is great.
Cool.
For those who don't know, actually, you can subscribe to Octopus outside of Octopus Cloud. You can actually provision an instance of Octopus through Azure Marketplace. So for those who don't know, you now know. You can go to Azure Marketplace, search for Octopus Deploy, and you'll find two options there. One for our cloud solution and one for our self-hosted solution as part of a VM. And Jim and I thought it'd be just a good idea just to point this out. Like this is an option you have available if you're wanting to host this and manage it through Azure Marketplace. Go nuts! This is something that you can certainly do and take advantage of. So these are solutions that we have available there, and I thought I'd just mention it here as part of our solution stack going forward. So we've got that available up on Azure if you're so inclined. I know that Azure credits come into this story when people look at this. That's part of the reason why people like using Azure Marketplace, especially providers or partners rather. They use up their credits for procuring solutions. So that's definitely something worth checking out. So that's available up on Azure Marketplace. So there you go.
Sometimes it's just an easy way to
So
get
short and sweet. That's right. So short and sweet. we're still actively developing, but we're laying down all the tracks, the plans for all the stuff that we're doing out through the year. We will be announcing Shift 24, our virtual conference. That's going to be coming up in November. I haven't made any announcement about that, but I thought I'd just mention that we're already planning that one. And we're going to be
Wasn't
taking
that it?
external speakers. What's that?
Wasn't that the announcement?
No.
No, that was
No, not the official announcement. This is
all right.
this is for
All right.
folks who watch. I'm paying homage to the people who are fans of the show. So people who watch Deploy on Friday are going to be the first to know that we will be doing a Shift 24. So Shift, if you happen to miss it, this is at octopus.com/shift. We currently have our Shift 23 listed there with all the things. This will get updated very soon and have the recordings available. But we're going to also be hold the date for Shift 24 very soon. So that's a little sneak or teaser there in terms of what's coming. But anyway, it's been a bit of a short week, but as I said, we've been doing lots of planning, and I know Jim and I are really looking forward to the upcoming year. Jim, I'm sure you got lots of master plans for world domination relative to stability and reliability of deployments. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Got to get to step 13 profit. So,
nice. I like it. Nice callback there. I like it. Well, anyways, next week I'll be in Barcelona, so Jim and I may or may not be able to pull off another Deploy on Friday. If it is not working out, I will probably just do it from my hotel room, which is fine. I'm sure Jim will appreciate me not having to ping him at like 1 a.m. His time. So we'll see what we do next week. But the week following, we'll definitely be back on our regular schedule. So Jim, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Deploy on Friday. Take care, everyone.